This is the second of our 9-part series on understanding Islam, unpacking the Dhimma. And this part is concerning the Dhimma Pact, explaining what the pact of surrender is that controls the whole dhimmi system. In Arabic, the word dhamma means to blame or dispraise. It's a bit of an unusual word. It means basically to curse, if you like, or to say something's worthless, to find fault with, to censure in respect of evil conduct. That's how this is defined in the dictionary. This is the verb from which the word dhimma comes. It's the opposite of praise or commend, so speaking badly of someone. The Arabic term dhimma, the noun, implies a liability arising from fault or blame. So there's a debt that's owed. And it's used as a term for these covenants or treaties that non-Muslims were subject to under Islam, the non-observance of which would attract blame or liability. So if the surrendered people broke the terms of the tract, they would be liable for a penalty or a punishment. So the word dhimma could be translated as pact of liability. It's often called by various writers pact of protection. And I'll come back and explain why that's done. But actually doesn't, its source means it's a pact of risk, if you like. You're under warning that if you step out of line, you'll be punished. It involves submission of a non-Muslim community to Muslims as a whole community. It's a communal pact. The whole community agrees to live according to these conditions. The pact is in a sense written by the Muslims. It's Sharia law that determines the conditions of the pact. It's a pact for the people of the book only. It's based on a verse in the Quran that speaks of the people of the book. That's particularly Jews and Christians, but later on this was extended to Zoroastrians and other groups, including ultimately Hindus in India. But it wasn't available for idol worshippers, so the option of surrendering and keeping your religion was not given to Arab pagans. They had to become Muslims or die. And often in Africa, where there are pagan Africans too, they've only been given the two choices, become a Muslim or die. But particularly for the people of the book, especially Jews and Christians, these are peoples who are considered to have received a book and still have a remnant of, or some sort of relic of, this holy book that was once an Islamic text that their prophets received. So the belief is that Jesus got the gospel, which is a book from God, and Moses got the Torah. So Christians and Jews have this book that was once an Islamic book and not so much anymore. So in a way, this is a concession to people of the book who have some sort of relationship or link to Islam because they come from an Islamic root. Converts to Islam are immediately freed from these rules. So you can join the winning side just by accepting Islam. And the Dhimma Pact fixes the legal, social, political role of Christians and Jews and other groups living under Islam. It becomes the legal framework for millions and millions of people down through history. The key verse in the Quran that controls or refers to the Dhimma Pact is Surah 9:29, one of the last surahs to be revealed in Medina, and is one of the most violent ones as well. And this verse says, "Fight against such of those who have been given the scriptures, the people of the book, as believe not in Allah nor the last day, and forbid not that which Allah has forbidden by his messenger." So they don't accept that Muhammad is the messenger, the best example to be followed, his word is to be obeyed. That's me. I do believe in Allah and the last day, but I don't believe Muhammad, I believe in God anyway, but I don't believe that I should follow what Muhammad has forbidden and so on. So I'm in this category. And don't follow the religion of truth. They're not adherents of Islam. Fight them with deadly intent, I think, until they pay the tribute, the jizya, readily, being humbled. The Arabic word means being small, being made small. So after surrender to this Dhimma Pact, to the forces of Islam, there are two aspects. One is tribute payments, and various taxes, the jizya payments, and the other is being made small, the humble service, the humiliation. And I'm going to unpack what those two concepts mean in some detail, because it's very important to understand what that means in Islamic law. A dhimmi is a person living under a Dhimma Pact. So the word in Islam for a non-Muslim living in an Islamic state, permitted to live, is a dhimmi. That's the word. And if you live outside the Islamic state, you're a harbi, you're an object of war. But once you're in the Islamic state, you're a pact person. It's a perpetual status. It lasts from generation to generation. So if a community becomes dhimmis, their children and children's children goes on forever. They're permanently conquered peoples. It's linked to the jihad. It's a concession allowing Jews and Christians and others to keep their religion after jihad, provided they pay compensation as part of their conditions of defeat. Interestingly, Islamic authorities say that when Isa returns, Jesus returns as a Muslim prophet with his sword, he will destroy Christianity and the dhimma will no longer apply. It'll become a Muslim or die. And so Isa in Islam is the final destroyer of Christianity, and this is a temporary tolerance to permit Christians to live in an Islamic state. It won't last forever. Alternatives to the Dhimma Pact, the dhimma is a choice. People have chosen to live under the dhimma. They could convert to Islam. They could be defeated, leading to slavery or death. They could fight back. They could run away, and a lot of Christians in Syria and Iraq have run away. That's been the choice they've made, rather than pay jizya. I'll talk more about what's been happening in the Middle East in recent times a bit later. So there are a number of options available to non-Muslims under this system. Here is Muhammad. This is from the Sahih Muslim, the authentic collection of hadiths collected by Muslim. And he's giving instruction to his followers, and he mentions the three choices, offering three choices. Fight in the name of Allah and in the way of Allah. Fight against those who disbelieve in Allah. Make a holy war. When you meet your enemies who are polytheists, the word polytheist actually translates a word in Arabic which means associator, someone who associates something with Allah. And Christians are considered to be associators because they believe Jesus is the Son of God. When you meet them, invite them to three courses of action. If they respond to any one of these, you accept it and withhold yourself from doing them harm. So firstly, invite them to accept Islam. If they respond to you, accept it from them and then desist from fighting against them. So Muslims are not allowed to fight Muslims. That's actually forbidden in Islam, unless you declare that they're not really true Muslims or they're rebellious. Secondly, if they refuse to accept Islam, demand from them the jizya, the tribute. If they agree to pay, accept it from them and hold off your hand so you don't attack them. If they refuse to pay the tax and they've refused to convert, seek Allah's help and fight them, kill them. So they're the three choices: convert, accept the dhimma, or then there's the sword. So a dhimmi is someone who's not a Muslim, living under Islamic rule and subject to a Dhimma Pact. In traditional classical Islamic law, if you are non-Muslim living permanently in an Islamic state, you're a dhimmi. There's no other way to exist in an Islamic state unless you're a dhimmi. You could be a temporary visitor from Europe or somewhere like that. That would be a bit different, but the people that actually have their home in the country, if they're living in an Islamic country, it's the laws of the dhimma that determine their position. So you need to understand that in Islamic law, every non-Muslim living in an Islamic state is considered to be part of a community conquered by military conquest. That's the permission that exists for non-Muslims in Islam, to be a conquered people. That's the end of that section.